How does Home Affairs allow a man accused of despicable crimes against a child leave Australia before he can face trial? It's a question we've been asking ourselves for weeks, and now it's made its way to the halls of Parliament. Watch as a determined senator tries to get answers.
My first questions are about a report on a current affair last month.
This is Liberal Senator Claire Chandler grilling the heads of Home Affairs about a shocking case we uncovered last month.
How can immigration make a decision on somebody that is on a rape charge? How do they get to walk out of this country free?
These devastated parents were speaking out about the childcare worker accused of raping their 4-year-old daughter. Arvind AJ Singh, a Fijian national, was charged over an alleged incident at the Appleberries Childcare Centre at Burnside on Queensland's Sunshine Coast. The case dragged out for 3 years, with Singh still awaiting trial when Australian Border Force placed him in hotel detention as an illegal non-citizen. He was then allowed to fly out of Australia as a free man.
Why aren't all these departments talking to each other? How does this even happen?
A Home Affairs spokesperson told us it couldn't comment on individual cases for privacy reasons. But now Senator Chandler has taken up the fight to uncover who's to blame for this bungle.
How is it that the department let a childcare worker standing trial for the rape of a 4-year-old girl leave the country?
Senator, where someone is an unlawful non-citizen, we do have an obligation to remove them under the Migration Act.
This is Michael Thomas, Deputy Secretary of Immigration Compliance, explaining to a Senate Estimates Committee that his department requires law enforcement to seek a criminal justice certificate to prevent an alleged offender from being deported.
Once that's in place, a criminal justice visa can be granted that allows that person to remain in Australia for the duration of that prosecution or that law enforcement activity. That's the typical process that occurs.
Was that the process that occurred in this case?
Senator, I won't be able to talk about the individual elements of this case.
It's incredibly disappointing when the Department of Home Affairs, the department that is in charge of our nation's security, shows up to Senate estimates and isn't able to answer questions about such an important case.
The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions told A Current Affair last month that Border Force was made aware of the active charges and court proceedings in relation to Singh 2 years before he was allowed to fly back to Fiji.
Shouldn't it just be incumbent on the Home Affairs at that point to check with law enforcement if that criminal justice visa has already been granted?
Senator, when we have cases where there might be considerations around criminal justice processes, we do engage with law enforcement.
But how much engagement there was in this case remains a mystery.
So if the department were aware of outstanding legal matters in relation to an individual in detention, would you normally still release that person?
It would depend on the case, Senator.
Senator, I might just add that the department is under a duty to remove someone, so it's not an option for us.
That's Claire Sharp, the head of the Immigration Department, explaining to the Australian public that its duty is to remove illegal non-citizens, even when their passport is being held at a police station with bail conditions preventing them going anywhere near an international airport.
I don't think we can draw any other conclusion than the fact that there has been a complete failure on behalf of that department.
Singh's trial at the Maroochydore District Court remains on hold. A judge has now issued a bench warrant for his arrest, which would require extradition from Fiji.
We will keep asking questions at Senate estimates to get the answers that Australians, and I think particularly the family of this poor little girl, deserve.
What a mess. And think about how much money will now be spent trying to get him back here to face justice. It's crazy.